Riker filled the doorway, his tall frame barely covered by a towel slung low on his hips. Droplets of water traced paths down his muscular chest and defined abs, creating a glistening effect that caught the light. I clutched the sauce pot tighter, my knuckles whitening with the effort not to fumble it, as my eyes involuntarily traced his physique. I stuttered, forcing myself to maintain eye contact rather than letting my gaze wander. I didn't realize you didn't have anything to wear. His mouth quirked upward, confidence radiating from him as he advanced a step. Well, I certainly couldn't very well wear your clothes, could I? Heat bloomed across my face, and I pivoted back to the stove, stirring the sauce with unnecessary vigor. I suppose not. A deep laugh rumbled from his chest, sending an unexpected shiver down my spine. Does my state of undress bother you, Selina? The question hung in the air between us, loaded with implication. Not at all, I answered too quickly, my voice cracking slightly. Riker moved closer, his presence palpable even without touching me. Are you sure? Because I couldn't help but notice the effect I seemed to have on you. My heartbeat accelerated, drumming against my ribs as words failed me. The sudden boom of thunder outside broke the moment, reminding us of the raging storm that had thrown us together. We should probably eat before the power goes out, I managed to say, my intended confidence emerging as barely more than a whisper. Riker's expression shifted, his smile tightening slightly as he nodded and retreated down the hallway. When dinner was prepared, I arranged the table while Riker returned wearing his previous attire. We consumed our meal in quiet, interrupted only by raindrops hitting the window panes and distant thunder. I caught myself repeatedly looking at him, impressed by his composure despite the raging storm outside. After finishing, I decided a hot shower was in order. The warm water cascaded over me, easing the stiffness in my body as I reflected on the unexpected direction my life had taken. I was surviving well without Kieran, something I hadn't thought possible before. Emerging from the bathroom dressed in a brief white satin nightgown, I discovered Riker perched on my bed's edge examining a book. His eyes lifted when I entered, and I blushed intensely upon recognizing which book he held. I see you've found one of my more dubious literary selections, I remarked with embarrassment. He laughed softly, his fingertips running along the book's well-used pages. It's definitely intriguing. I playfully rolled my eyes while approaching to sit beside him. It's overly sentimental and corny, I declared with mock frustration. His expression remained tender as he reached out to gently touch my cheek. Is that really so terrible? He asked in a hushed, earnest tone. I settled onto the edge of my bed, running the hairdryer through my damp strands. The warm air whirred around me until Riker interrupted with an unexpected suggestion. Let me brush your hair, he said, patting his thigh with an inviting smile. Come here. With hesitant steps, I approached him, brush in hand. As I positioned myself on his lap, I realized no man had ever done this for me before. Kieran certainly hadn't bothered with such intimate gestures, despite how much I'd secretly yearned for them. Heat radiated from Riker's body against my back. His distinctive scent surrounded me, triggering an urge to lean deeper into his embrace. Without speaking, he took the brush from my fingers, working through the tangles with surprising gentleness. My tension melted away under his attentive care, my eyelids growing heavy with contentment. Then he surprised me further by weaving my hair into a simple braid, imperfect yet somehow beautiful in its execution. Where did you learn to do that? I asked, curiosity piqued. His laugh vibrated against my back, rich and deep. I'm an alpha, Selina, he said simply. It's just something I know. A violent crack of thunder exploded outside, making me jolt with alarm. Riker's arms immediately tightened around me, creating a protective cage. Shh, you're safe, he whispered, his voice steady and reassuring. Nothing will harm you while I'm here. I nodded, still trembling slightly, as his fingertips traced the sensitive curve of my neck. Selina, he breathed, his lips close enough to my ear that I felt the warmth of his words. May I mark you as my own? My heart faltered as the magnitude of his words registered. Marking, that ancient binding ritual, would eternally connect our souls. The prospect of Riker's teeth breaking my skin, declaring me as his own, stirred an unexpected urgency within me. Yes, I answered with newfound certainty. Please, Riker, mark me. That evening, as our bodies intertwined and his caresses awakened sensations I'd never known existed, I discovered a profound tranquility that had eluded me throughout my life. When morning light filtered through the windows, I found myself alone in the cooling sheets. His absence didn't surprise me. I understood he had responsibilities that demanded his attention. My fingers instinctively sought the fresh mark adorning my neck, and an uncontrollable smile spread across my face. The memories of our night together, the most exquisite I'd experienced in countless months, flooded back. As my hand drifted downward, it encountered something foreign, a delicate silver chain resting against my collarbone. Examining the pendant hanging from it, I inhaled sharply upon reading the single powerful word engraved there: Rikers. The weight of everyone's stare followed me from the car to the company entrance. Their focus locked onto the necklace at my throat. Riker's claim visible for all to see. Gossip would spread, but I embraced it with a slight smile. This symbol guaranteed their respect. I was the Alpha's chosen mate. Linda intercepted me immediately inside, her body rigid with fury as she fixated on my necklace. "How the hell did you get that?" she demanded loudly, ensuring our confrontation had an audience. I met her hostility with newfound confidence. "Isn't it obvious, Linda? Riker has marked me as his mate." Her features twisted with rage, eyes boring into me with unmistakable hatred. "How could that be?" She gesticulated wildly, voice rising. "I am the rightful Luna of this pack, not some worthless outsider like you." "It's hardly my fault he preferred this outsider over you," I replied with casual indifference, crossing my arms across my chest. Linda's posture shifted predatorily, muscles tensing like she might attack. "How dare you? What trick did you use on him? Did you somehow bewitch him into giving you that necklace?" She suddenly lunged forward, fingers grasping for my throat, for Riker's gift. Her fingertips barely brushed the chain before a powerful hand clamped around her wrist, yanking her backward with unmistakable authority. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," Riker warned, his deep voice cutting through the tense atmosphere. His blue eyes hardened, glinting with unmistakable threat. "That necklace symbolizes Selena's bond with me. Touch it and there will be consequences." Linda froze, her face draining of color as understanding crashed over her. Tears spilled down her cheeks while her composure crumbled. "How could you choose her instead of me?" she cried out, her voice cracking with raw emotion. "I've stood beside you all this time. The Luna position should be mine." Riker's gaze turned glacial. "Address Selena by anything other than her name again, and you'll find yourself immediately expelled from this company," he stated coldly. "From today forward, everyone will respect Selena as your future Luna. Have I made myself clear?" Complete silence fell over the crowd. I felt their evaluating stares shifting between Linda and myself, their attitudes transforming before my eyes. I maintained my posture, head high, wearing Riker's claim with pride. When Riker released his grip, Linda staggered backward, her body trembling with uncontrolled sobs. The pack members shuffled awkwardly, their expressions caught between reverence and discomfort. I recognized that many had nursed their own Luna aspirations, but Riker had decisively ended that speculation. I was his choice. "I'll never acknowledge you as Luna," Linda hissed venomously. "You're nothing but an imposter. This pack is rightfully mine, and I'll stop at nothing to take back what belongs to me." I stood my ground, resolute against Linda's hostility. "I understand your feelings, but Riker has chosen me. Nothing will change that fact. This pack is now my home, and I won't surrender it to you or anyone else." Linda spun toward Riker, desperation etched across her face. "You're humiliating me for her? I already selected my wedding gown. What will become of it? My father will be outraged. What spell has she cast on you to secure your choice?" Her fingers twitched menacingly, betraying her violent impulses. "Linda," Riker cut in sharply, "my position is non-negotiable. Continue harassing Selena and you'll find yourself permanently expelled from this pack." "You have no right," she shrieked, panic rising in her voice. "This pack belongs to me. I am the true Luna, not her." "Selena will be Luna of this pack," Riker stated flatly. "Accept this reality or depart. The decision is yours alone." Tears streaming down her face, Linda stormed out, ignoring the curious onlookers surrounding them. Riker addressed the crowd firmly. "Let me make this perfectly clear. Anyone who threatens or troubles Selena in any way will deal directly with me. Understood?" Throughout the day, I became an unexpected focal point. Pack members and colleagues approached constantly, each attempting to establish rapport and curry favor. Their sudden interest was transparent. News of my status as Riker's mate and future Luna had spread, and they were scrambling to secure positions in my good graces. I tilted my head and smirked at their obvious strategy. Their fear of Riker wasn't genuine concern, it was pure self-preservation. These pack members weren't rallying around me out of loyalty or respect. They simply calculated that aligning with the future Luna would benefit their standing in both pack hierarchy and company politics. "Oh, wow, Selena!" Macy rushed toward me, her face lit with genuine excitement. "You're the Alpha's Luna. This is so amazing. Who would have thought?" Her enthusiasm was refreshingly real among the sea of calculated pleasantries. I laughed lightly. "Yes, Macy, I am, and I hope that we can work together to make this pack stronger than ever. I can't even believe it myself." The irony wasn't lost on me. For years I had pleaded with Kieran to mark me, but I was never worthy in his eyes. Now here I stood, chosen by another Alpha wearing the symbol of his claim. Of course, Macy nodded vigorously, her smile spreading wider. "Anything you need, just let me know. I'll be happy to help in any way I can." I was cruising in my new Rolls-Royce, a surprise gift from Riker just days earlier. The excitement of driving it quickly evaporated outside the supermarket when I spotted a small dent on the sleek exterior. My stomach dropped instantly. This wasn't just any car, it was worth a small fortune, and somehow I'd already managed to damage it. "Damn it," I muttered, running my fingertips over the imperfection while kneeling down for closer inspection. Perhaps it wasn't severe enough for Riker to notice. Maybe a quick repair could erase my mistake. Before I could fully assess the damage, something slammed into me from behind. The force threw me forward onto the pavement, sending sharp pain shooting through my leg. Dazed and wincing, I looked up to see Nina approaching with an unmistakable smirk barely concealed behind her false concern. "Oops, sorry, Selena. Didn't see you there," she announced, her voice dripping with fake innocence. The gleam in her eyes told a different story. She'd absolutely meant to hit me. "Why did you hit me?" I demanded through gritted teeth. "Are you blind or something?" Nina clicked her tongue disapprovingly. "Oh, come now, darling," she replied, clearly enjoying my predicament. "It was purely accidental. I was just backing out and didn't see you standing there like an idiot," she said dismissively. Her eyes lingered on the Rolls-Royce, jealousy practically radiating from her. Though I can see why you'd think otherwise, considering how attentive Kieran has been toward you lately. I sighed heavily, my fingers scraping against the rough parking lot gravel. "Attentive? What are you even talking about?" "Stop pretending, Selena. Did Kieran purchase this luxury car for you? You've got him wrapped around your finger. He hardly has time for me because he's constantly pursuing you. I'm sick of you monopolizing his attention, you obvious gold digger." "Not my problem if you can't hold on to your man," I shot back sharply. Just then, Macy emerged from the supermarket, her expression shifting to alarm when she spotted me on the ground. She hurried over and knelt beside me. "Selena, what happened to you?" she asked worriedly. Nina's lips curved into a smirk. "This is just the beginning, sweetheart," she warned before strutting back to her vehicle and driving away. I felt immense relief at Macy's timely arrival. "My leg is killing me," I told her, grimacing in pain. Nina struck me from behind and I collapsed. I recounted the entire incident to her. Macy looked horrified. "That's awful. Are you injured? We should get you to a hospital immediately." I gave a weak nod. "My leg. I think it might be fractured. Just hang in there." Macy carefully placed her arm around my shoulders, helping me stand as gently as possible. "I'll drive you myself. You need medical attention right away." I gripped Macy's shoulder tightly, wincing as pain shot through my leg with each awkward step toward the car. My mind still couldn't process what had happened. Nina, that spiteful woman, her jealousy over Kieran had finally crossed a line I never imagined possible. The irony was, I couldn't care less about Kieran. He was already old news to me. This day had officially hit rock bottom. At the hospital, the staff immediately took charge. They fired questions at me while I struggled to maintain composure. After explaining the incident, they guided me to an examination room where the doctor assessed my injury with clinical precision. Looks like a minor fracture, he stated flatly, his expression serious. X-rays will confirm, but you'll probably need a cast. I groaned loudly, frustration overwhelming me. The timing couldn't be worse. I had new work responsibilities waiting, and instead I'd be immobilized with a broken leg. The doctor departed to arrange the imaging, leaving Macy to squeeze my hand supportively. "It'll be okay, Selena. I'm not going anywhere," she assured me. I managed a faint smile in return, appreciating her loyalty, but beneath my exterior, rage simmered. Nina would face consequences. The method and timing remained unclear, but she wouldn't escape retribution. The doormat version of me no longer existed. During the wait for X-rays, revenge scenarios played through my mind, from damaging her vehicle to sabotaging her fuel tank. The options seemed limitless. Eventually, the doctor returned with my results. "Just as I suspected, a minor fracture in your tibia. We'll need to put you in a cast for 4 to 6 weeks to allow it to heal properly." I let out an exasperated groan, marking yet another frustrating moment in this nightmare of a day. The nurses methodically wrapped the cast around my injured leg, while my mind raced with thoughts of Riker. His reaction to this incident would undoubtedly involve protectiveness and concern. He'd insist on caring for me, which clashed with my desire for independence. Our partnership was built on equality, not me becoming dependent on him. After the cast was secured, I leaned back against the hospital pillows, exhausted. "I'm just relieved you're okay," Macy said softly, her fingers still providing reassuring pressure on mine. "Watching Nina hit you terrified me. I wish I could have prevented it somehow." "Don't blame yourself, Mace," I replied, appreciating her loyalty. "You were there exactly when I needed someone. I'd have been completely lost without your help." The moment of calm was shattered when the hospital room door flew open with unexpected force. Kieran rushed in, his expression frantic and worried. My stomach instantly tightened with dread. Dealing with Kieran and the complications he brought was absolutely the last thing I needed, after everything else today. "Selena!" Kieran rushed toward the hospital bed, concern etched across his face. "Are you okay? What happened?" I crossed my arms defensively, struggling to mask my irritation. "What are you doing here, Kieran?" Surprise flashed in his eyes. "What do you mean? I came immediately when I heard you were hospitalized. Had to make sure you weren't seriously hurt." "How did you even know?" I asked coldly. "We're not connected anymore." Kieran's expression hardened. "We're mates, Selena. How many times must I repeat this?" He reached for my hand, but I jerked away. "Mates?" I let out a bitter laugh. "I've rejected that notion repeatedly. We are not mates, Kieran. I've made that absolutely clear." A muscle twitched in his jaw as tension built between us. "I've rejected your rejection," he stated firmly. "I sensed you were in danger. I knew I needed to come." Pain shot through my injured leg as I rolled my eyes. "Whatever game you're playing, I want no part of it." Just leave." "I'm staying right here," he growled, leaning closer. "Not until I get answers." "Who did this to you?" His gaze dropped to my bandaged leg. "Nina," I stated flatly. "Your precious, delicate Nina did this." Disbelief spread across Kieran's face. "What? That's impossible," he protested. "Nina would never harm anyone. She's too fragile, too gentle. She couldn't possibly." "Well, she did," I cut in sharply. "She attacked me, Kieran. I have no idea what her issue is, but Nina is the reason I'm stuck in this hospital bed." Kieran shook his head forcefully. "That's impossible. You must have it wrong." Disgust crossed my face. "Wrong? Macy witnessed everything. She's the one who brought me to the hospital after Nina's violent outburst." Macy confirmed with a grim nod. "It happened exactly as Selena says. I saw Nina attack her firsthand." Kieran turned to Macy with hostile eyes. "And who exactly are you supposed to be?" "Macy is my friend," I stated firmly. "She came to my aid after the incident." Kieran made a dismissive sound. "Thanks for your help, but you can leave now." "Pardon?" Macy's eyebrows shot up. "I'm staying right here, Alpha Kieran. Selena needs my support." "Not happening," Kieran snapped. "This is between Selena and me. I don't need some outsider involved." My temper flared. "Macy stays, Kieran. That's final." His attention shifted back to me. "Whatever. We still need to discuss what happened." I exhaled in frustration. "What's to discuss? Nina attacked me deliberately. What else matters?" He gave a rigid headshake, his face unreadable. "Even if something did happen, it must have been unintentional. Nina would never deliberately harm anyone, especially you. I stared at him in disbelief. Are you serious right now? You're actually taking her side after what she did to me? Kieran raised his hands in a placating gesture. I'm not defending her. I'm just saying there has to be some confusion. Nina isn't capable of this. I clenched my jaw, fighting the impulse to strike him across the face. Enough. You think you understand her? Nina is anything but fragile. Just go. You're making my head pound. Kieran's attention suddenly fixed on the necklace draped around my throat. Riker's gift from when he marked me days ago. His expression transformed instantly from feigned concern to undisguised fury. What the hell is that? He demanded, voice dropping to a dangerous growl. I touched the pendant deliberately. This, I replied with calculated calmness. Riker gave it to me. Rage twisted Kieran's features as though I'd committed the ultimate betrayal. Riker, that piece of shit, why are you wearing his necklace? I lifted my chin in defiance. Because we're mates. Because I choose to. Because Riker matters to me. Kieran's nostrils flared with animalistic anger. You let him mark you? You're mine, Selena. You've always belonged to me. I won't let that bastard claim what's mine. Macy intervened, her tone deliberately measured. Alpha Kieran, you should leave now. Selena needs rest, and you're causing distress. Kieran whirled toward her, eyes flashing dangerously. Keep your mouth shut, you interfering bitch, he snarled. This is between Selena and me. Kieran, I cut in sharply, don't speak to my friend that way. Either show some respect, or get out of here right now. The bathroom tiles felt cool against my knees as I hunched over the toilet bowl, my stomach violently protesting. When I finally had strength to straighten up, my eyes locked on the pregnancy test sitting on the sink edge, that unmistakable pink plus sign confirming what I'd feared. Pregnant. 3 months had passed since that incident in the supermarket lot, and everything had shifted. Kieran wouldn't take no for an answer, continuing to pursue me despite my clear rejection of his possessive advances. Then there was Riker. From our first meeting, he'd shown nothing but compassion and protection. I picked up the test strip with trembling fingers, my pulse hammering against my ribs. This pregnancy complicated an already confusing situation. I couldn't shake my doubts about Riker's feelings. Did he truly love me, or was this just his natural protective instinct? The possibility that I might not matter as much to him as he did to me was crushing. After falling completely for him, I couldn't face being emotionally invested in another man who didn't reciprocate, especially now with a baby involved. With a frustrated sound, I rinsed my mouth and splashed cold water on my face. I grabbed my phone and called Macy, desperate for any guidance to navigate this mess. Her face appeared on screen, concern immediately washing over her features. Selena, girl, what's wrong? You look terrible. My teeth dug into my lower lip as I held up the test strip to the camera. Macy, I am pregnant. Macy's mouth fell open so dramatically I thought she might actually topple off her chair. Oh my God, Selena, that's incredible. You're becoming a mother, and I'm going to be a godmother. Quiet down, I hissed, frantically gesturing for her to lower her voice. Nobody knows yet, so please don't broadcast it to your entire building. The banquet starts in an hour, and I'm completely overwhelmed. The banquet? Macy's eyes bulged. Selena, why aren't you ready? Your hair and makeup should have been finished ages ago. I dragged my fingers through my unkempt hair, feeling a wave of nausea that had nothing to do with my pregnancy. I know, I feel terrible, Mace. I'm paralyzed with indecision. Her forehead creased with worry. What's wrong? Shouldn't you be thrilled? This is life-changing news. Chewing my lower lip, I struggled to articulate the chaos swirling inside me. What if Riker doesn't want this, Macy? What if I've just been a temporary amusement to him all along? Are you serious right now? Macy's voice was incredulous. Riker is the most genuine, devoted alpha I've ever known. He'll be ecstatic. You need to tell him tonight at the banquet. My eyes drifted back to the pregnancy test, its positive result mocking my fears. If he rejects the baby, I won't survive that kind of heartbreak. Macy leaned closer to her camera, her face filling my screen with fierce determination. Listen carefully. Riker is nothing like Kieran. He won't abandon you or your baby. You have to believe he cares for you, and that he wants this too. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to quiet the frantic thoughts racing through my mind. Macy had a point. Riker was nothing like Kieran. From day one, he'd shown me nothing but genuine support and kindness. Yet the paralyzing fear of rejection, of facing parenthood alone, felt like a weight crushing my chest. The thought of raising this baby by myself terrifies me, Mace. What if his feelings aren't real? Macy gave me that reassuring look I needed. Selena, anyone with eyes can see how that man feels about you. Trust that. And this baby, it's something special. When you tell Riker tonight, he'll be ecstatic. I gave a hesitant nod, feeling a flicker of hope ignite. Fine, I'll do it tonight at the banquet. Macy's face lit up as she clapped enthusiastically. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Now hang up and start getting ready. You need to look absolutely breathtaking tonight. Her excitement pulled a laugh from me. I'm going. I shot her one last thankful look before ending our call. I sank into a warm bath, then meticulously applied my makeup with steady hands. When I finally stepped into my black shimmering gown, I felt a surge of confidence wash over me. Soon after, Riker's driver appeared with the limo waiting at my doorstep. Just as I was settling into the back seat, my phone vibrated with Riker's message. Running slightly behind for the banquet, unexpected alpha business came up. Hold a drink for me? Can't wait to see you. Despite my nerves, I found myself smiling as I typed back. Don't worry, I'll be here when you arrive. I stepped out of the car and felt the weight of attention shift my way. The driver had barely closed the door behind me when I noticed people's approving glances. My momentary pleasure vanished as I spotted Nina's hostile face in the crowd. Her expression soured further when our eyes met. Selena, what the heck are you doing here? Nina demanded, her button nose wrinkling with contempt. Keeping my composure, I replied evenly, I was invited, Nina, just like you were. I'm an exceptional employee, after all. Invited? Please. Her mouth twisted unpleasantly. Everyone knows you're just here to chase after Kieran. Why don't you do us all a favor and leave him alone? I am the only one who is going to become Mrs. Hawthorne and not you. I fought back frustration. After all this time, she still couldn't grasp that I had moved on completely. Nina, I don't love Kieran anymore, I stated firmly. We broke up more than half a year ago, and if you're so sure of yourself, why are you still not Mrs. Doe Hawthorne after all this time? I could see fury blazing in her eyes as she confronted me. How dare you? Kieran belongs to me. I'm the only suitable Luna for him. Back off, Selena, or face consequences. Massaging my temples against the growing tension, I exhaled heavily. Nina, listen carefully. I have zero interest in Kieran. I've stated this repeatedly, but you seem incapable of comprehension. If you're genuinely committed to him, focus on deserving him rather than threatening me. She released a cutting laugh, her piercing gaze attempting to intimidate me. Don't be ridiculous. Kieran merely pities you. You're nothing but a desperate, insignificant woman in his eyes. I'm the one who truly matters to him, the one who holds his heart. Though irritation prickled beneath my skin, I maintained my composure. If that's true, why hasn't he married you yet? Especially after abandoning me at our wedding for you. Explain that. Rage flashed across her features, and for a second, I braced myself for physical aggression. Instead, her lips curved into a malicious smile. Here's something you don't know. Kieran dances to my tune completely. I control his every move. In his world, I'm the only person who counts, the only one he'll ever cherish. I couldn't suppress an eye roll, increasingly annoyed by her dramatic performance. That's quite a presumptuous statement. I deliberately faked an injury on your wedding day, Nina confessed, her voice filled with callous pride. That pathetic little scrape was all it took to make Kieran abandon you at the altar. He came running to me like an obedient puppy. You truly are despicable, I responded, unable to mask my revulsion at her confession. Nina smirked. Perhaps, but who would take your word over mine? Let me demonstrate my power over him once more. Just watch and learn. Before I could respond, Nina executed her performance. She suddenly lurched backward, her body swaying dramatically as she clutched her chest with theatrical desperation. As expected, Kieran materialized instantly at her side, concern etched across his features as he supported her weight. Nina, what's wrong? Are you hurt? She gazed up at him, her eyes shimmering with manufactured distress. Kieran, Selena pushed me. I think my heart. That's absolutely false, I interrupted sharply. Kieran, she's manipulating you again. I never touched her. She's pretending to collapse just to gain your sympathy. It's her standard tactic. Kieran's eyes hardened as he turned toward me. Why would you harm Nina when she's clearly unwell? I steadied myself, gathering my resolve. The moment had arrived to shatter Nina's carefully constructed facade. Kieran, Nina isn't the fragile victim she portrays. She's been deceiving you from the beginning, and I have recorded evidence to prove it. What recording are you talking about? Nina's face paled noticeably, her confident facade crumbling. You're just trying to turn Kieran against me like you always do, aren't you? Despite her accusatory tone, her eyes darted nervously to my hand, betraying her growing anxiety about what I might be holding. Save your dramatics, I replied with a composure that surprised even me. I don't need to explain anything. I'll just let this speak for itself. I pressed play without hesitation. Nina's voice filled the suddenly silent hall, crystal clear and unmistakable. The conversation we just had echoed through the space, every manipulative word, every admission of deceit. I'd anticipated her true colors would show and had prepared accordingly, capturing everything without her knowledge. Everyone present was now hanging on every damning word. Kieran's face transformed as he listened, his eyes widening with shock. Nina, what the hell is this? Nina forced a desperate laugh, panic evident in her voice. Kieran, you can't possibly believe this. I would never deceive you. You know that. I love you. Remember your promise after my parents died? You swore you'd take care of me, protect me forever. Kieran stepped back, shaking his head, his features hardening with disappointment. I just heard everything with my own ears. I thought I knew who you were, but this is beyond forgiveness. You've been manipulating me all along. Nina's composed exterior completely collapsed. She reached for him frantically, desperation etched across her face. Kieran, please try to understand. I was only securing my future. Isn't that what you wanted for me? Kieran gazed down at Nina, his face etched with disappointment and regret. Nina, I can't honor the commitment I made before, not now that I've seen how you've manipulated my trust. He withdrew slightly, voice laden with disillusionment. I considered you family. I believed in you completely, but you've proven to be nothing but deceitful, and I want no connection with someone so dishonest and childish. Nina's tears began flowing strategically. Kieran, please. That's not true. I've always loved you, genuinely. Don't abandon me. I have nobody else, she pleaded desperately. Kieran stepped backward, creating deliberate space between them. I observed as Nina's facade crumbled, her expression transforming from desperate pleading to unbridled fury directed at me. This is entirely your doing, Selena. You've been systematically destroying everything, trying to separate Kieran from me. She spat venomously. I maintained steady eye contact, refusing to be intimidated by her rage. You're mistaken. I haven't been destroying anything. I've simply been revealing the truth about who you really are to Kieran. I casually navigated through my phone. And I have concrete proof right here. The Hawthorne and Simone families shared generations of friendship and business ties, creating the perfect backdrop for Nina's elaborate deception. She had successfully maintained the facade of suffering from a heart condition since childhood, expertly manipulating her way into Kieran's protective care. Nina's childhood had indeed included hospital stays, but she weaponized this history later in life. Being only children, she and Kieran formed a natural bond that she would later exploit mercilessly. When her parents were killed in a brutal rival pack attack when Nina was 8, Kieran's sense of duty toward his friend's orphaned daughter crystallized into a lifelong commitment. Throughout Kieran and my relationship, Nina's attacks displayed suspicious timing, always occurring precisely when his attention drifted toward me. Initially, I responded with genuine sympathy, believing her frail health was truly as precarious as she claimed. My perception changed dramatically during a night out with Macy months ago. At a downtown club, I froze in disbelief as Nina, supposedly bedridden and fragile, danced energetically across the floor. I recorded the evidence discreetly, then hired a private investigator who compiled extensive proof of her double life. Today, I would finally expose her lies to everyone who had been fooled for years. I cued one of the staff to link my phone with the central projector, ensuring everyone in attendance could witness what was about to unfold. With a decisive tap, I started the first video. The speakers blared with Nina's unmistakable cackling and thumping music. The footage displayed her spinning and moving erratically with several men at a nightclub. Collective gasps erupted from the audience. Kieran's expression transformed into pure shock as he watched. "Nina, what the hell am I looking at?" Her complexion turned ashen as she lunged toward me, arms extended. "Stop, Kieran, don't watch. It's fabricated nonsense." I evaded her easily, keeping the phone beyond her grasp. "I guarantee this is authentic. And there's more evidence to come." Triggering the second video, I revealed Nina in another location, encircled by attractive men while she inhaled deeply from a cigarette. She chuckled with delight, clearly intoxicated. A third clip showed her snorting cocaine, causing visible horror among the onlookers. This image contradicted entirely the vulnerable, ill persona she had cultivated. Kieran's face contorted with rage. "How dare you put those dangerous substances in your system? You've been deceiving me all along." Nina released a frantic, pained scream. "Please, Kieran, listen. This is all deception. Selena, that conniving woman, she's setting me up with fake videos." "I've heard enough lies." Kieran snapped. "Stop insulting my intelligence. That's clearly you in the footage." The banquet had transformed into a spectacle, with guests eagerly recording the unfolding drama on their phones. "Nina, get out now. Leave my pack and my life forever. I never want to see your deceitful face again," Kieran thundered, his voice echoing through the hall. Nina stood frozen, tears streaming down her face, ruining her carefully applied makeup. Without uttering a word, she turned and ran from the room, humiliation trailing behind her. With the liar's schemes finally revealed, I started to walk away, deliberately ignoring Kieran's pleading gaze. Before I could take another step, his fingers caught my arm in a desperate grip. "Selena, please stop. I was blind and stupid to believe Nina instead of you. I should have trusted what we had. Can you forgive me? I love you. Only you," Kieran said, desperation lacing his words. Riker materialized beside me instantly. With a calculated movement, he removed my arm from Kieran's hold. "Don't touch her again," Riker said coldly, standing protectively between us. "You've caused enough pain." He secured his arm around my waist and pressed his lips against my cheek, causing me to smile despite the chaotic situation. He leaned closer, asking if I was all right. "I'm okay, Riker. I just need to escape this." "Get some air on the balcony," I replied, exhaustion evident in my voice. "Then that's where we're going. You deserve peace after this mess," he responded, guiding me toward the doors while Kieran remained rooted in place, looking utterly defeated. That evening, I had planned to reveal my pregnancy to Riker during the banquet, but an urgent matter had pulled him away. Days slipped by without the right moment presenting itself. When Riker summoned me to his office at the company, I felt my heart quicken. He reclined in his chair, his expression serious as he studied me. "I need to discuss something with you." I nervously bit my lower lip, my thoughts tumbling over one another. Had he somehow discovered what I was hiding? "I've received an exceptional opportunity," he stated, the hint of a smile appearing, "to manage the expansion of our major branch offices in Singapore." Surprise washed over me. This wasn't at all what I'd anticipated. "That's amazing, Riker," I said with genuine admiration. "And I want you to join me," he continued, his eyes locked on mine. "There's a significant deal requiring your leadership. It would be a remarkable step forward for your career, and the investors specifically requested you." I stared at Riker, stunned by his proposal. Singapore? The city I'd fantasized about living in for years, and now he was offering me the chance to head a new branch there. "What exactly would the position entail?" I asked, struggling to contain my excitement. "You'd move there to manage our new office setup," Riker clarified. "It's a remarkable opportunity for both the company and your professional growth. The promotion comes with a substantial pay increase." My mind raced. This was exactly the career break I'd been waiting for. I'd be foolish to reject it. But complications existed. The baby. Riker still had no knowledge of my pregnancy, and here he was, inviting me to relocate across the globe. "I'm speechless," I admitted, buying myself time to think. "Take your time," he said warmly, reaching across the desk to squeeze my hand reassuringly. "This is a major decision. I won't pressure you if staying is what you prefer. It's an enormous commitment." I quickly shook my head and returned the gesture. "No, Riker. I want to accept. This opportunity is incredible, and I'm honored you chose me. When's our departure date? His face brightened instantly as he pulled me into a firm embrace. That's wonderful news, Selena. We leave in 2 weeks. He pulled back and held my face between his hands. This will be extraordinary. I can feel it. The exhilarating news left me smiling at Riker, but my pregnancy revelation remained lodged in my throat. This career advancement could transform my entire professional life, and disclosing my condition now seemed potentially disruptive. The promotion deserved its own moment without complications. During my preparations to leave, Kieran's name flashed repeatedly on my phone screen. I deliberately avoided answering. My future with Riker in Singapore beckoned brightly, making Kieran's persistent attempts at contact nothing more than unwelcome interference. Departure day arrived with just a single goodbye to Macy, my confidant and the sole keeper of my pregnancy secret. Her embrace was tight, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "This decision, Selena, you're certain?" she murmured, concern evident in her hushed tone. "Completely certain, Macy," I confirmed, squeezing her shoulders reassuringly. "This path is exactly what I want. I'll miss you terribly." I methodically liquidated my assets, selling the apartment, packing essentials, finalizing logistics. Singapore welcomed me before Kieran even comprehended my absence. I could almost visualize his expression, rage mingled with shock, upon discovering my silent departure. Eventually, I answered one of his incessant calls simply to establish finality. "Selena? Finally! Where have you been hiding? I've called for days." His voice crackled with panic. "And what's this about selling your house?" "Kieran, it's over," I stated with resolve. "I've started a new chapter in my life, and you're not part of it. You can't just walk away like this, Selena. We need to discuss this situation properly." I massaged my forehead, frustration building. Kieran's persistence was becoming unbearable. "The discussion ended months ago. I've relocated to another country for a reason. Please respect my boundaries and stop contacting me." His tone turned hostile. "So you're throwing everything away? All our history together? You're just going to disappear? Goodbye, Kieran. Live your life." "Selena, listen, I terminated the call and immediately blocked his number. 3 months into my pregnancy, I finally gathered the courage to reveal my condition to Riker. "Something's on your mind. What is it?" Riker nudged me gently, curiosity in his eyes. I chuckled nervously. "You're right. We should sit down. I have important news." We positioned ourselves at the dining table, my hands trembling slightly. Riker sat opposite me, his attentive gaze making my heart race. I inhaled deeply. "I'm pregnant." His expression froze in shock, words momentarily failing him. I watched as realization dawned across his face, uncertain what his response would be. Then, without warning, something incredible occurred. His expression transformed with a radiant smile that illuminated his entire face. Rising swiftly from his seat, he circled the table and enveloped me in an exuberant embrace, spinning me effortlessly through the air. His reaction made me laugh softly. It defied all my expectations. I had anticipated shock or hesitation, but Riker displayed nothing but unbridled enthusiasm. As he returned me to my feet, he cradled my face between his palms. This is extraordinary. I'm actually going to become a father?" I confirmed with a nod, emotion making my vision blur. "Yes, Riker, you're going to be a dad." He released a soft, incredulous laugh before pulling me close again, dotting my face with gentle kisses. "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I couldn't ask for better news." His hand moved down to rest tenderly against my still unchanged abdomen. "Hi there, little one. I'm your daddy. And I love you immensely already." His words brought tears to my eyes. Witnessing Riker's immediate connection and affection toward our unborn child was profoundly moving. In that moment, I knew without doubt he would be an exceptional father, loving, protective, and completely dedicated. What caught me entirely off guard was Kieran's decision to pursue me across continents to Singapore. His obsessive determination was disturbing and completely irrational. The second unexpected event was Riker kneeling before me days after learning about my pregnancy. There he was, actually proposing, while I stared at the stunning ring in frozen silence. Joy and doubt battled within me. "I'm thrilled you're proposing, but Riker, I need to ask, are you certain about this? With the baby coming, I don't want you feeling obligated to propose just because." He interrupted with a decisive headshake. "Selena, enough. This has zero connection to the baby. I've been planning to propose for months now. I want a lifetime with you, baby or no baby." My smile carried a touch of melancholy. "That means everything to me, and believe me, marrying you is what I want most. But I need certainty. What if we postpone?" Disappointment flashed across his face, though he attempted a smile. "Postpone until when?" "Until after our child is born. After they've grown a bit, if by then you still want me as your wife, we'll make it official." He responded with a small nod and gentle smile, bringing my hand to his lips. "Of course, my Luna, I'll wait for you." As for Kieran, he had followed me internationally and continued hovering nearby, refusing to give me any peace. As I pulled into the driveway after baby shopping, the familiar black car parked down the street made my heart sink. Kieran was watching me. Again. I clutched my shopping bags tighter and hurried toward the mansion Riker and I shared, desperate to escape inside before confrontation became inevitable. My luck ran out when his voice cut through the evening air. "Selena! Selena, wait!" With a deep breath, I turned to face my persistent ex, keeping my expression deliberately blank. "Kieran," I acknowledged flatly, "what are you doing here?" He stood there with pleading eyes, hands reaching out as if he could grab my attention by force. "Please, Selena, I need to talk to you. I've been trying to see you for weeks, but Riker won't let me anywhere near you." Irritation flashed through me. Riker wasn't being controlling. He was being protective, shielding me from Kieran's relentless stalking. "Riker's just protecting me from you," I stated coldly. "You need to leave. I don't want you here." Rather than respecting my boundaries, Kieran stepped closer, plea, desperation etched across his features. "Selena, please. I've come all this way for you. I've given up everything just to be with you again. Can't you see how much I love you?" I rolled my eyes in sheer disgust. "Love me?" The mockery in my voice was unmistakable. "If that were true, you'd respect my boundaries and disappear from my life." Kieran shook his head with disturbing intensity. "You don't get it. I can't walk away. You're my only one. Can't you see that?" Without warning, he lunged forward, arms extended to trap me in an unwanted embrace. I dropped my shopping bags instantly, stepping backward while my hands shot up defensively, shoving him away. "Keep your hands off me." My voice cracked with rage. "I've had enough, Kieran. Back off or I'm calling the police right now." His expression crumpled momentarily, revealing a flash of pain that quickly transformed into stubborn resolve. "What more can I do, Selena?" His voice was desperate, pleading. "I've followed you here, sent Nina away from my pack, even out of the country, so we could be together. I've done everything to show you my devotion. Just one more chance." I gave him a rigid headshake. "Nothing. There's nothing left. This is finished. I'm through." Without another word, I turned abruptly, rushed inside, and slammed the door with finality. My back pressed against the door, heart hammering violently in my chest as I struggled to breathe normally. Angry, frightened tears burned behind my eyelids while I wondered how much longer I could endure this nightmare. I watched from behind the curtain, anxiety coiling in my chest. Kieran's car remained parked down the street, a constant reminder that my past refused to stay buried. Weeks had passed since I'd escaped my hometown, believing distance would sever his obsession. I was wrong. His unexpected appearance at my doorstep earlier had shattered my fragile sense of security. The sanctuary I'd built was compromised. My hand instinctively moved to my stomach, hidden beneath layers of baggy clothing. The slight protrusion wasn't noticeable yet, but soon my pregnancy would become impossible to conceal. The thought of Kieran discovering I carried Riker's child sent cold fear through my veins. I forced myself away from the window and headed to the kitchen. Dinner preparation would distract me, though my hands trembled as I removed ingredients from the refrigerator. My gaze betrayed me, drifting once more to the window, where Kieran's vehicle remained visible. The sight turned my stomach. I yanked the curtains shut with unnecessary force. I knew what needed to be done. A restraining order was long overdue. Kieran's surveillance had crossed from persistence into dangerous territory. I couldn't continue living under his watchful eye, especially not with a baby on the way. When Riker returned that evening, I revealed everything. No more secrets, no more shouldering this burden alone. His reaction was immediate and decisive. The next day, we secured the restraining order against Kieran. The legal boundary apparently worked where my repeated rejections had failed. Kieran disappeared from my life, his car no longer a fixture on our street. Finally, I could breathe again. 3 years had transformed my existence in unfathomable ways. I'd given birth to Eve, my precious daughter who embodied perfection. She inherited Riker's striking blue eyes and dark hair, while carrying my round cheeks and small rosy lips. Her smile possessed an extraordinary power, capable of warming the most frigid soul. This perfect little human had become my world, making life without her unimaginable. One evening, our kind neighbors watched Eve while Riker escorted me to a Chinese restaurant. During our meal, I noticed his unusual behavior, his hand constantly reaching for his pocket, his forehead creased with intense focus. "Riker?" I inquired softly. "Everything okay?" He jolted slightly, emerging from his thoughts to flash me a warm smile. "Completely fine, Selena. Actually, there's something I need to ask you." My heartbeat accelerated as anticipation built within me. Could he be? Before my thought concluded, he slid from his chair onto one knee, producing a glittering diamond ring from his pocket. "Selena, since the moment my wolf recognized you as my mate, I've fallen deeply for you. I love you completely and want no one else by my side through life. Will you become my wife and the official Luna of our pack?" Tears gathered in my eyes as emotion overwhelmed me, leaving me utterly speechless. Yes, Riker, I'll marry you. I love you so much too." Thunderous applause erupted throughout the restaurant as Riker slid the ring onto my finger. He stood up and drew me into his arms, kissing me with tender affection. Our engagement news quickly circulated online, generating widespread excitement. Several months later, we celebrated with a magnificent wedding ceremony that truly became the most unforgettable day of my existence. 1 month following our wedding celebration and honeymoon retreat, we journeyed back to our homeland. Our 2-year-old daughter Eve remained alert during the trip, her vivid blue eyes examining the new environment with intense interest. She embodied pure energy and inquisitiveness, constantly ready to discover new things. I couldn't suppress my smile watching her tiny palms pressed against the car window while Riker kept her secure. "We've arrived, baby girl," I whispered, reaching back to caress her smooth cheek. "This is Mommy's childhood home." Eve responded with an excited squeal, her plump hands clapping together enthusiastically. Riker laughed softly beside me. Upon exiting the plane, Macy stood waiting with her soon-to-be husband. Our return served dual purposes, attending my mother's remembrance ceremony and celebrating Macy's upcoming wedding. When I got married, I had flown her to Singapore to be my bridesmaid, and now I would serve as hers. Like me, she had discovered her wolf and fated mate, whom she was about to marry, which filled me with genuine happiness. The moment she laid eyes on me, Macy almost crushed me with her embrace. I laughed, returning her hug with equal enthusiasm. During my mother's remembrance ceremony, I spotted Kieran standing at the entrance among the crowd. I froze momentarily, memories flooding back. Yet the years had dulled my anger and pain. Looking at him now, I felt only sympathy. His appearance was haggard, defeated. According to Macy, he'd lost his alpha powers, punishment from the moon goddess, she suggested. I approached him directly. "What brings you here?" He blinked, offering a sad smile. "Selena, I wanted to pay respects to your mother. She always showed me kindness, and I needed to honor her memory." "Kieran." I hesitated, searching for words. "I appreciate your respect for my mother, but why are you really here after all this time?" He sighed heavily, fingers raking through his unkempt hair. "I've missed you every day since you left. When I heard about your visit, I couldn't stay away. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but my feelings haven't changed. I still love you." I cautiously touched his arm. "I do forgive you, Kieran. I've made peace with our past, and hope you can too. But you need to understand, my heart belongs to Riker now. We're married." Riker moved protectively in front of me, holding Eve against his chest. "Kieran," he stated firmly, his eyes narrowing with unmistakable vigilance. Kieran's attention immediately shifted to Riker, his expression transforming to shock when he spotted Eve. "Who's this?" "Our daughter," I replied simply. Your daughter?" Kieran's voice faltered, clearly stunned by the revelation. I nodded once and told him it was time to go. He exhaled heavily, his features contorted with evident remorse. "Selena, I've accepted your choice of Riker. I won't interfere with your family again. The mate bond between us is broken completely now. I truly hope you find the happiness you deserve." As his figure disappeared from view, Riker's strong arm encircled my waist and pulled me against him. In that moment, I realized I had already found exactly what I'd been searching for all along: true happiness and peace.